maybe it's best to start with a little story of two companies taking, I guess, the electronics market as an example. Two companies, couple decades old, well-known names in the United States. They sold electronic parts. And in the late 90s, one of them, a company called B&H, really looked at the market and said, you know what? Everything is going towards technology and towards online buying. And we need to be ready. And other competitors of theirs, don't need to name them because you've not heard of them, but you would have heard of them a couple decades ago. They said, oh, no, it's all going to happen in the stores. And what they focused on was expanding their footprint. And today, I think B&H is something like, I don't know, $2-3 billion a year and can defend itself against Amazon, whereas these other companies are no names and no one's ever heard of them, and their revenues reflect that. Someone who's coming to your website as a dealer, right? And they you've never seen them before. You bought them off an ad on Google. It's possible to know basically whether they want to be bugged quickly or whether you should leave them alone. It's possible to know whether they're going to care more about the financing opportunities you have, or if they really just want to, see how fast this car is. Whenever something happens on a website, that is recorded. If you move your mouse like that, if you go to the edge, if you click, if you look at a particular vehicle description page.
When you say things like, your website can watch these things, I don't know how that works. I'm convinced that Facebook sees everything I click and then serves up, ads, and so does Google if I click on it. But you're saying is like the gestures and the acceleration, and that really, it's the fingerprint of the user is what you're talking about.
Exactly. And in a lot of ways, that's all data that by just being on a website, you're by default giving over. You're not revealing who you are. You're not, but you are showing certain things that the right engine for analyzing them can make guesses about you that are better, that are decent.
Hey, I have a question coming in from one of our attendees. Philip says, obviously the key to your machine learning application is dependent on your data. So is the data that you're using to build your algorithm your data, or is it shared resource with, as he says, a large enough sampling to be accurate?
So we try to do a few things. One, we've not yet, I'm just, for the world, we don't pull in external data sets for the most part. We've had good success with that because we've not found that the data is clean enough to do what we need. So generally our approach has been as follows. We create a lot of profiles and we put those profiles into kind of the core. And then as a website begins to reveal its own data set, we'll start to default towards that as opposed to the baseline profiles that we've created. So it's a very dynamic process depending on how much traffic there is. As Phil probably knows, to get real data and to have a real insight, you need a tremendous amount of data to be statistically significant and also to train these programs. And when I say train, it's like training, I don't know, a dog to do something. You similarly train your machine, your computer, to guess better about a certain thing that you're trying to attack.
The takeaways here, as far as I can see, are that, through artificial intelligence implemented onto your dealership website, dealers have the ability to truly provide a more personalized, customized experience that is more relevant to the shopper experience. I mean, that's effectively sums this up. Do you want to put that in your own words?
No, absolutely. That's very, very well said, Ryan.
Okay.